In this lecture, we're going to learn about helpers. With helper classes, we can easily adjust our layout. We can, for example, change the alignment. We can change how our content should show and hide across different device sizes. We can change the formatting. And finally, we can display elements using browser defaults. First, we have helpers for alignment. We can use vertical align. We see here in the first example. We can also use text align for text elements left, right, and center. We can float elements to the left and right. We can hide and show content based on device size. We can see here if I resize the screen, you can notice that this green label will show and hide depending on the screen size. We can use truncation for text. We can add a shadow and hover, for example, on cards. And finally, we can use browser defaults of unordered lists, select elements, and input elements. All right, let's see how we do this. If you click on the Practice tab, which is open right here, you'll see we have all the HTML already in place. And we'll just add these helper classes to change the appearance of these elements. So first we have the vertical align. In our code editor, we find the example here. We have the gray background and the white text, and the height is set to 100 pixels. Now to vertically center this, we simply need to add one class, and that class is v-align wrapper. So we add it right here, v-align wrapper. Let's save, go back and refresh, and now we can see that it has become vertical aligned in the center. Now let's see how we can align text. If we go into the code editor, we can see that our first text has been aligned to the right with inline styling, and then we have two paragraphs that are left aligned by default. Now we want to add some classes to the paragraph tags. To the first one, we want to left align it. Right now, as I said, it's right aligned, so we add the class left align. The next one should be right aligned, so we add the class right align. And the third one should be center aligned, so we add the class center align. Let's save, go back into the browser and refresh. Now we see that they are left, right, and center aligned. Next, let's take a look at floats. Here we have 3 paragraphs with a simple outline, so we can see exactly how this behaves. Now we want to float the first one to the left by adding the class left, and the last one to the right by adding the class right. We won't do anything with the second one. It's not being floated. Let's save, go back and refresh. We can now see the not floated element is in the top. Before it was in the middle, and we have one element floated to the left and one to the right. They are no longer block level elements, but inline elements. We can see that they don't take up the full width anymore. So this is how you can easily add floats to your elements using helper classes. Now let's take a look at how you can hide and show content across different breakpoint sizes. If we go into the code editor, we can see that we have this collection with collection items. We have a description here, and then we have a badge with the caption test. This badge has the color because of the new class. Now we want to display and hide this badge depending on the description over to the left side here. So the first one should be hidden for all devices. We do that simply by adding the hide class. The next one should be hidden for mobile only, so we add the class hide on small only. The third one should be hidden for tablet only. So we add the class hide on Med only. The fourth one here should be hidden for tablet and below. So we add the class hide on mid down. The next one should be hidden for tablet and above. So we add the class hide on mid and up. And the next one should be hidden for desktop only. So we add the class hide on large only. The next one should show for mobile only. So we add the class show for small or show on small. Also, please notice that these examples here, where we want to show items, I've given them an inline style of display none. So right now they wouldn't display unless we add some of these classes. So the first one was show on small. The next one will be show for tablet only. So that's the class show on medium that we need to use. The next one will get the class show on large. The next one, show for tablet and above, will get the class show on medium and up. And the last one, show for tablet and below, will get the class show on medium and down. Now let's save this and look at all these examples in our browser. I'll refresh. So the first one is hidden for all devices that we can see. The next one should be hidden for mobile only. We shift to mobile and now it's hidden. The third one should be hidden for tablet only. So let's increase our browser window here. We can see that it's hiding and showing. This one should be hidden for tablet and below. We can see that something is wrong. We forgot the and keyword. So let's quickly go back here. Hide on mid and down, like we just used the and here and also here. All right, let's save and go back. So we have this hidden for tablet only and hidden for tablet and below. Right now we're on small size and now we're on tablet size. The next one, hidden for tablet and above, will be hidden right there and all the way up. And the next one will be hidden for desktop only right there. Then we have our show classes, show for mobile, tablet, and desktop only, and tablet and above, and tablet and below. So notice how this changes when we resize the window. Now this one is showing tablet and below, desktop only disappeared. Now when we change to mobile, we'll see that tablet only disappears, and now show for mobile only appears. So you can check these examples out even more if you need to by yourself. Let's continue to look at truncation under the formatting helper classes. So here we have a paragraph. Currently it's being hidden on small devices, but that shouldn't matter. If you want to truncate this so you can only see one line with ellipses in the end, we simply add the class truncate. So let's go back and refresh. Now we can see the dots in the end. Next, let's see how we can add a shadow on hover, which is mostly used for cards or card panels. So in our code editor, we have this card panel here. Now we simply add the class hoverable to make this shadow appear when we hover above it, like so. Finally, let's look at browser defaults. Here we see an unordered list, a select element, and an input element. In fact, we don't see the select right now because it should be initialized with JavaScript if you're using the Materialize select. But we want to use the browser default, so what to do? We go back here, and now we simply add the class browser default to the unordered list, and the same is true for the two other examples. Browser default for the select element and browser default for the input element. Let's save, go back, refresh. And now we see that it looks just like browser defaults and the select is visible again. This was all about how you can use helper classes.